what happened was he was a friend of my husband's. And so he was just around a lot. And a lot of people helped me, equal amounts. I have this property with these buildings and it snows and there's tractors. And I found out I was pregnant the day after the funeral. And we've got old trees and there was one blocking my driveway and I needed someone to bring a chainsaw over. It's just things like that constantly. And I have a big lawn to mow and I have a 3-year-old who's going to watch my kid while I mow the lawn. She can only sit on my lap for so long. Plus I'm pregnant. Like what? And he was one that helped out a lot. And I can say this, that when Josh died, Brent, my husband, started dating someone. And so he had a girlfriend. They were like newly dating. And so honestly, I feel like that piece of it, if he was single, I would have never let him help me. And I know that sounds so weird, but there was no attraction. It was just like, that's just Brent. And so it was like he was the same as any of my married friends, or it was like, sure. And so he was just around a lot. And it just kept turning into this, he's fine. And I remember when he told me that they broke up, and I was like, and I'm pregnant at that point, and I'm like, why? And he's, I don't know. That's who I want to be spending my time with. And that's all he said. And I was just like, I don't, whatever. Like, why are you telling me this? I don't care. Whatever. And I went and told my therapist about it. And she's like, oh, you don't care. And she goes, do you know how much you've talked about Brent in the last? And I'm like, no, I haven't. And she was actually very, I laugh. I was just reading the chapter in my book and she's like, do you think he's just the solution to your problems? Is that why? And I was like, no. And it was this like, whatever. And then we were just friends. And then Davy was born and was able to finally like breathe. And it was just, Brent was still just around a lot. And I remember telling my mom, and she's like, okay, so Brent, he's mowing your lawn, he's here, he's dropping off ice cream for Vidalia and whatever. And I was like, Mom, he's a wonderful person, but I can't be selfish. This is about my kids and I have to do what's best for them. It doesn't matter. I think I said, I don't get to be happy. This is how it is. And she's, what if he's what's best for them? And it was around that time that he's like, all right, you know how I feel. Like this is, but if you're not ready, you're not ready, but whatever. And I told him, I said, all right, I don't have time to date. We've known each other forever. And so he moved in. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it just, and that's what there's something about when you give really bad advice or something like that, like not to be a red flag or not to be whatever. And so that's my thing, not to be whatever. The minute we actually like started dating, he moved in because I was like, I don't have time to go see you and bring the kids and suitcase and toothbrush and your stuff might no, we'll just either do this or whatever. And then, yeah, I don't know. I can't, if there's a manual for dating a widow, there's definitely not, but he wrote it. Like he's so respectful of everything.